Hello, I'm going to be going through the cookie management app as well as discussing a few of the new features in version 2. The new features in version 2 are primarily making the app self-service, so you no longer have to email me to get accounts created and stuff like that, as well as adding support for family accounts. So the first thing you'll do when you open the app is you'll see this login screen and you'll want to create a new account. So you'll click register and you have an option between two different accounts. The Troop account gives you full access to the app. It's what TCMs and troop leaders should create. When you create it, or when you register a troop account, you'll be able to create accounts for all the Girl Scouts in your troop, and all of them will be able to log into it free of charge. With a family account, it's for the one-off Girl Scout that wants to use the app, but the rest of the troop is not on board. So when you click on one of these, it'll take you to another screen to set up your account information with your name and email and such. And once you save that, it will take you into your troop management screen inside the app. So I'm going to just go to that now instead of creating a new account. All right, so once you finish creating your account, you'll be taken to this screen. Up at the top, you'll want to put in what your troop number is. Below here, you'll put your leader information in, and then you'll want to make sure your amount that you sell your troop to troop boxes for is correct right here. Below that, you'll select your bakers, or your baker. And then once you do that, it'll pre-populate this list at the bottom with all the cookies for that baker. If, for example, you don't sell trefoils, then you would simply swipe left and click delete, and it would remove it from your troop. Once you finish, click save, and then click back. And now this is our home screen. So the first thing you want to do is create your Girl Scouts. So you'll go here to this Girl Scout icon and click on add, enter their first and last name, and then click save. Once you do, you'll see this screen right here. The next thing you want to do is create the parent accounts for that Girl Scout. A parent account is an account where that person will be able to log into the app for that Girl Scout. So this is where you can set up mom and dad, as well as grandparents or uncles, whoever else will need to log into the app. A useful example is when a grandma is selling cookies for the Girl Scout to people she knows, she can log into the app and enter those as cookie orders so that she doesn't have to relay that information to the parents. So when you're ready, you click add, and then you can select a parent that's already in the troop, or you can enter a new one by typing in their email address here and then going through the wizard to set up that parent. So once you get all your Girl Scouts set up, the next thing you want to do is create your warehouse pickups. So your warehouse pickups is whenever you go to the warehouse to pick up cookies for the troop, you'll enter them here, and this is what creates inventory in the app. So you click on add, you'd enter who picked it up, the warehouse where you picked up the cookies, and then the number of boxes of each type of cookie that you picked up. Once you do that, you'll hit save and back, and now it's added all those cookies to your inventory. So up here in the top right corner, there's an inventory box or button. So when you click on this, you'll be able to see an overview of all the inventory in your troop. So here we see that we have this many cookies in inventory, or this many boxes for the troop, and that the troop has sold none so far. And then Girl Scout, how many are in Girl Scout inventory? This is a sum across all Girl Scouts, and then how many across all Girl Scouts they've sold. You can scroll down and get a breakdown by Girl Scout, so you can see how many boxes each Girl Scout has sold and how many they still have inventory, as well as the monetary value for those cookies. And then finally, down at the very bottom, you'll see a payment status. So we can see that Jane has received or picked up $640 worth of cookies, and she hasn't paid any money to the troop yet. So that's where you can also track how much money all your Girl Scouts owe the troop and how much they paid so far. Once you have warehouse pickups put in, you'll want to create your Girl Scout pickups. So this happens whenever the Girl Scouts come to your house to pick up the cookies. This is where you'll want to enter that. This is what transfers inventory from troop inventory into the Girl Scout inventory. So when a Girl Scout comes, you'll click on add. You'll say who picked it up, whether it's mom, dad, or whoever. Here you'll select the Girl Scout. So select Jane. And then down at the bottom, you'll enter how many boxes of cookies of each type they pick up. Once you do that, you hit save and you'll hit back, and it will transfer that number of boxes from troop inventory to the Girl Scouts inventory. And you'll also see those numbers reflected under this inventory button. Once you do that, the app's pretty much ready to go. When you do Girl Scout pickups and those Girl Scouts log into the app, they'll be able to see that they have inventory and they'll be able to sell those cookies. So whenever you need to sell or you're selling cookies, you want to create a cookie order, which is this top left button. This is what tracks all the cookies that you sell. It replaces that piece of paper that you get that you write down all the orders on. This is where you put those instead of having to write them all down. So we want to make sure we have this Girl Scout selected. And when we create a new one, we just click add. We enter the customer information and as well as any notes that we want to enter. And then down here we select how many cookies they're buying. So we'll say they're buying 2 boxes of Savannah Smiles. It auto-calculates the total. When you set up your troop, you enter how much you charge for each of those boxes, so it knows the total to put here, and it'll put the total amount owed down here at the very bottom. If they're purchasing troop to troop, then you would enter that here. And then troop donations is any money that they just give to the troop, and you'd enter that here and say $4, and then it calculates how much they should pay you is $16. If at some point say you run out of a certain box of cookies like Thin Mints, you can actually switch over to this back order tab and enter say 1 Thin Mint and save it, and that way at least you have it saved for that order that they still want a Thin Mint, but you didn't have it in stock at the time. Once you get it in stock, meaning a TCM has done a Girl Scout transfer, a Girl Scout pickup, and transferred those boxes of cookies from troop inventory to the Girl Scout inventory, you'll see this in stock button appear right here. And so you can go back into this order, click on in stock, and it will transfer it to this in stock tab. And you can see that it changed to 4 up here, and now we have 1 Thin Mint. Below all this, we can select 2 additional options. So if it's been delivered, you just tap here, meaning you've physically given the cookies to them. And then if they paid you, you tap here, so you can see you can do any permutation of those 2 options. So that allows you fine-grained control and keeping track of what you've done with your cookies and your payments. And then at the bottom, you can select how they paid, whether it's cash, check, or credit card. And that's it. So you just click save when you're done, and it puts it all here. Obviously, this list can get pretty long, so there's some pretty nice filters. So if you click here, you can filter on whether or not you've delivered the cookies, whether or not they have paid, and then whether or not that order contains back-ordered cookies. And then you click apply to apply those filters, or reset to put them back to the default. You also have a search box here where you can search names or whatever. So you could search mom and see all of mom's cookies, or say Rico's, stuff like that. So that's orders. Next major feature are booth sales. So you have both family booth sales and troop booth sales. They're both the same. The difference is that for family booth sales, the inventory comes from the Girl Scouts inventory, and for troop booth sales, they come from troop inventory. So obviously, family booth sales are your individual booth sales that Girl Scouts will be doing. That's where they'll be entering their booth sales, and then troop ones are where you get the troop together and you do a booth sale. So we'll go into family booth sales first. You click on add, and we'll just put in our house. You select the date, the time, and then the starting change donor and amount. That's if somebody provides cash to the booth sale to provide change beforehand. That way at the end you can know that mom provided $20 and needs to be paid back $20. So once you're done, you click save, and then you'll see this table below, which is giving you a real-time totals of how many you sold of each type of cookie. So you could just stay on the screen, leave your phone up, and then whenever somebody comes to purchase a cookie, you would click on post sale. You would say they selected 1 Do-si-do and 1 trefoil. Sorry, I guess I clicked on 2 Do-si-dos. And then it shows you right here on the left, so it's very easy to see how many of each type of cookie. At the top it has a real-time total, and then right here on the right column it also has how much each box costs. So it makes it very easy so you don't make mistakes. And then the last two down here are for your troop to troop as well as your troop donation. And then at the bottom you can select how they paid, cash, credit, or check. And again you see the total down here. Click on save, you go back, and now we can see our totals right here. And down at the very bottom we can click on this history button and see every sale that we posted during this boost sale. And say that we made a mistake, say they really bought just 1 Do-si-do, we can just click here and change that and hit save, and it will fix that for us. So now we're 1 and 1. With Troop boost sales, the user interface is the same. So I'm going to go in there now. So we see we still have the same table, the top is still the same. The nice thing about this app is that if you have a really busy boost cell and you have multiple parents there, they each can have this app open at the same time and be creating cells, clicking post cell at the same time, and they'll synchronize just fine. As long as they don't both enter the same cell, it's fine. But that way you can have, if the table's split or it's a big table, they can be on either end entering cells and everything will update for you. One other item that Troop boost cells have that family boost cells do not have is at the bottom you can also specify which Girl Scouts were there. So you just click on add and select the Girl Scouts that were there, or remove it if you got it wrong. That way in the future you can track which Girl Scouts were at which booth cells, so they can make sure they get credit for it. So those are booth cells. Next are cookie transfers. This is where you take care of transferring cookies either between Girl Scouts or between troops. So when you click on add, you can either do a transfer between Girl Scouts, so you would select your source Girl Scout, maybe Jane, and she's transferring it to Drew. And then you would select how many cookies she's transferring. And then once you're done, you click save at the top, and that will move those cookies from Jane's inventory to Drew's inventory. The other type is a troop transfer, which is a transfer between the troop and another troop. So you can select the direction. It's either into the troop or out of the troop. Out of the troop means it's going from your troop to another troop. Into means it's going from the other troop into your troop. And here you enter the other troop that you're working with, so their number, representative, and their email. If you type in their email, it will email them a receipt for this transaction. And down here you enter the cookies. So that's transfers. One thing I forgot to mention about Girl Scout pickups is every time you enter a Girl Scout pickup, it'll email a receipt for that pickup to all the troop leaders as well as all the parents for that Girl Scout. And as well, also, say they didn't get the receipt or they can't find it, there's also an option down here at the bottom to resend that receipt, and it'll re-email it to all those people again. Lastly is this payments image down here. So when you click on this, this is where you track all the payments that the Girl Scouts are making to the troop for the boxes they've received. Depending on your schedule, they may have to pay every week or maybe pay all at the end. Whatever it is, whenever they give you money part of the money that they owe, you click on add, select the Girl Scout that's making the payment, You can specify who paid it, so maybe mom did, how much they're paying. So she's paying $100. The method is either cash or check, and then the transaction type is a payment or refund, in case maybe they paid you too much and you have to issue a refund. And then down here at the bottom, it has a table to see kind of what's going on with how much they owe. So we see that they owe $640 total. They haven't paid anything so far. They're paying $100 here. So now they owe $540. So we'll go ahead and save this. Back out, we now see it in the list. If we go back up here to our inventory icon, scroll all the way down to payment status, we can now see that she's paid that $100, and so it's $540. Lastly, we have this hamburger icon up here on the top left. So you can click on that and a side menu will pop out. If you ever need to manage your troop, you click on this manage troop right here, and that's that screen we started with. Add troop or year is if you need to, once you've created an account, say you have 2 Girl Scouts and 2 different troops, and you want to track both, you could click on this, and this will take you to a screen where you can either create a new season, which is you're renewing the app for another season, or you click on new troop to create a new account for the new troop. Once you do that, if you create a new troop, you'll have this change button here, so you'll be able to easily toggle between the 2 troops. Below that, you can change your password here. Reports, these are a couple different reports that are there to help you enter your information into, say, eBuddy or whatever system you have to enter it into. When you click on one of these, it'll email you a spreadsheet with that data. And then help gives you a way to contact me as well as sending diagnostics, and then obviously log out. So that's the app. I hope y'all enjoy it. I hope you find a lot of use out of it. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.